Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2020-21 San Ramon Valley Unified School District Employee Retirement Reception. Today's celebration is dedicated to honoring the efforts, the contributions, and the successes of 65 employees. That's 31 certificated employees, 32 classified employees, and 2 managers who have either already retired earlier this school year or who will be retiring by the end of next month. This year's retiring class of employees has dedicated between 2 and 38 years of their professional lives to this organization and to the students that we are so privileged to serve. In total, our retirees have devoted an average of just over 18 and a quarter service years each. That's a little bit higher than we've had in the past few years, and a cumulative 1,180 service years to supporting and nurturing the academic, social, and emotional growth of students here in the San Ramon Valley. I'm always astounded by those numbers. However, as we all know, as impressive as those numbers are, they pale in comparison to the significant contributions that each of them has made, the positive impact that they've had on their students and colleagues, the lasting relationships that they've cultivated, and the fond memories of them that will never, ever be forgotten. On behalf of our superintendent, Dr. John Malloy, and the San Ramon Valley Board of Education, we proudly salute each and every one of you for your outstanding service and the dedication that you've demonstrated. And we thank you for the role that you have played in enriching the learning experiences of students in our community. We're going to be honoring our retirees today by calling them each out individually, alphabetically by last name, and we'll share with you their positions, the location at which they work, and the numbers that they've served. So Logan, if I can ask for some assistance without further ado, let's get us started. Jeanne Annunziato, Special Education Paraprofessional, Hidden Hills Elementary School, 13 years of service. Katherine Apodaca, Library Media Coordinator, Country Club Elementary School, 28 years of service. Becca Bartolone, School Office Manager, Pine Valley Middle School, 21 years of service. John Burke, Teacher, Diablo Vista Middle School, 19 years of service. Sharon Brown, Teacher, Vista Elementary School, 22 years of service. Lori Carson, Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 17 years of service. Anne Cherniss-Cooke, Speech and Language Pathology Assistant, Monterey Elementary School and Doherty Valley High School, 19 years of service. Cammie Clowdsley, School Office Manager, Iron Horse Middle School, 22 years of service. Colonel Davis, Teacher, Windermere Ranch Middle School, years of service. Penelope Davis, Teacher, San Ramon Valley High School, 14 years of service. Azalea Garza, Bus Driver in the Transportation Department, 9 years of service. Shauna De Silva, Teacher, Iron Horse Middle School, 20 years of service. Pat Dowling, Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 22 years of service. Lynn Fernandez, Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 28 years of service. Susan Fitch, Counselor at California High School, 22 years of service. Jean Gillest, Autism Specialist Paraprofessional, Doherty Valley High School, 14 years of service. Nancy Gamache, Director, Human Resources Department, 6 years of service. Kimberley Gilles, Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 15 years of service. Greta Hayton, Classroom Paraprofessional, Rancho Romero Elementary School, 32 years of service. Janice Hildreth, School Office Assistant, Alamo Elementary School, 9 years of service. Eileen Hock, Library Media Coordinator, Montevideo Elementary School, 28 years of service. Scott Hodges, Teacher, California High School, 23 years of service. Rose Hearn, School Office Assistant, Live Oak Elementary School, 14 years of service. Sandra Isbell, Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 31 years of service. Kathy Karp, Resource Teacher, Windermere Ranch Middle School, 20 years of service. Ann Katzberg, Servia President, 23 years of service. Janet Kaye, Classroom Paraprofessional, Rancho Romero Elementary School, 16 years of service. Deborah Keesling, Resource Teacher at California High School, 3 years of service. John Krisman, Bus Driver, Transportation Department, 10 years of service. Vin Lamb, Custodian, Coyote Creek Elementary School, 20 years of service. Barbara Lee, Bus Driver in the Transportation Department, 11 years of service. Carrie Lehman Wilson, Teacher, Vista Grande Elementary School, 31 years of service. Rosa Lopez, Payroll Technician in the Department at the District Office, 14 years of service. Linda Mailho, Library Media Coordinator, Rancho Romero Elementary School, 28 years of service. Rick Myers, Warehouse Worker Delivery Driver in the Warehouse Department, 14 years of service. Tanya Meyers, Executive Secretary, Special Education Department, 14 years of service. Wendy Miller, Registrar, California High School, 20 years of service. Cathy Muse, Special Education Teacher, Diablo Middle School, 21 years of service. Hua No, Custodian, Monte Vista High School, 20 years of service. Sherry Noda, Teacher, Twin Creeks Elementary School, 20 years of service. Aileen Parsons, Director in the Human Resources Department, 2 years of service. Marypat Prince, Secretary 1, Doherty High School, 9 years of service. Mariane Randall, Teacher at Hidden Hills and Live Oak Elementary Schools, 17 years of service. Jeannie Range, School Office Manager, Tassajara Hills Elementary School, 28 years of service. Kathy Saka, Resource Teacher, Monte Vista High School, 22 years of service. Evelyn Safari, Autism Specialist Paraprofessional, Country Club Elementary School, 13 years of service. David Santos, Teacher, San Ramon Valley High School, 13 years of service. Dennis Saunders, custodian, Windermere Ranch Middle School, 10 years of service. Kathy Scanlon, teacher, Quail Run Elementary School, 14 years of service. Jill Schratz, college and career coordinator, San Ramon Valley High School, 12 years of service. Holly Scott, teacher, Monterre Elementary School, 17 years of service. Cindy Sipe, executive secretary in the Building and Grounds Department, 17 years of service. Cindy Sexton, classroom paraprofessional, Coyote Creek Elementary School, 24 years of service. Ursula Sexton, teacher, Montevideo Elementary School, 6 years of service. Alan Shotwell, teacher, Monte Vista High School, 23 years of service. Trish Slomowitz, teacher, Stone Valley Middle School, 17 years of service. Yvonne Spilker, teacher, Monte Vista High School, 38 years of service. Kim Tatum, library coordinator, Live Oak Elementary School, 19 years of service. Rose Tishler, teacher, Country Club Elementary School, 23 years of service. Cynthia Tria, teacher, Monte Vista High School, 24 years of service. Annie Vargas, teacher at Pine Valley Middle School, 16 years of service. Tamako Vink, child nutrition assistant, California High School, 16 years of service. Jillian Wald, teacher, Montevideo Elementary School, 14 years of service. Pam Ward, senior buyer in the purchasing department, 18 years of service. And last but not least, Leslie Wastenberg, autism specialist paraprofessional at Golden View Elementary School, 21 years of service. Congratulations to all of this year's retirees. We are extremely happy for and proud of you. As you may know, our district has a long-standing tradition of providing each of our retirees with a gift to honor their service with us. It's a clock. It looks just like this. And we have it engraved with the individual's name and the number of service years that they've worked for the district to commemorate all of the time that they have professionally dedicated to the district and its students and families, and to help them to manage all of that free time that they're going to be having in their new life as retirees. Your clock will be shipped to you by United States Mail sometime in June. At this time, we have several individuals who would like to extend their congratulations to this year's retirees. We're going to be starting with our bargaining unit leaders. And I think we've got Tammy Castelluccio, who is standing right there at the mic. And we will start with her. She is the president of California School Employees Association.
Good evening. I'm Tammy Castelluccio, president of CSEA. On behalf of myself and Carrie Lucchini, president of SEIU, we would like to congratulate all of our retirees. Thank you so much for all the years of service that you've provided to our students, staff, and parent community. I am envious because I do have a few years left before I can retire, but I hope you guys enjoy your time. Thank you so much.
I'd now like to introduce Ann Katzberg, the president of the San Ramon Valley Education Association.
Thanks, Keith. I'm smiling, but you can't tell because I'm in a mask. So retirement is a destination. And so in the past, when I have addressed our retirees, I always spoke to them on terms of how inspired I was, and I hoped to be them one day, as Tammy just alluded to. And here we are. We are retiring. As I look into the camera on my computer screen to address you, the retirement class of 2021, I can tell all of you that you are special. We are the only SRVUSD retirees who are ending their career on the heels of a once in 100 years pandemic. We survived. We learned how to Zoom with finesse. You kept our schools open during the pandemic, providing food, sterilizing our campuses, showing up, and keeping each operation and aspect of this school district functioning. One thing the class can say with conviction is our schools are ready for this year to end, and next year will be different. One thing we know to be true is this last year doesn't define us, nor does the year before that, and prior to that, and the first year that we started our careers in education. We are the product of the compilation of many, many years. I started my career in the fall of 1985. I was 12. I was the best teacher. I have documentation of this fact, as my 5-year-old student wrote me a letter, and she told me that I was the best teacher that she had ever had. Let it be known, I was the only teacher that she had at that point in her education. I'm not sure if she changed her mind. We are fortunate because we entered into a profession that changes lives. We prepare the future, literally and figuratively. When we think about the number of students we had in our classrooms and we helped to launch the trajectory of each child onto their own unique path, it is humbling. Our successes are not always measured by our accomplishments, but can also be viewed in terms of how we have personally grown. I always thought that I had the hardest job, and I still believe that. Teaching is never easy, but it is dynamic, it is transformational, and it is rewarding. It is challenging to think about moving on, to think about what is next on this journey that we call life. Some of you may know exactly what your future will bring because you were holding babies in those pictures. And others, you may have no idea other than you will finish up this school year, and that's okay. A long time ago, I found this quote that I've read to many retirees at this exact same celebration. I read it because it captures for all of us this time, looking at that clock, as we profoundly feel our time waning in the San Ramon Valley Unified School District. The quote is by Azar Nafisi, and she said, "You get a strange feeling when you're about to leave a place. Like you'll not only miss the people that you love, but you'll miss the person you are now at this time and this place because you'll never be this way ever again. Thank you for sharing your brilliance, your love, your heart, and being a foundational component of the San Ramon Valley Unified School District. We will be missed. Congratulations to all of you on your retirement. I am so grateful to share this milestone with you."
Thank you, Tammy and Ann. I'd now like to toss it on over to our superintendent, Dr. John Malloy, who has some celebratory words that he would like to share. John.
Thank you so much, Keith, and congratulations to our retirees. What an honor it is for me to address you as well. As I think about all of you, and I was grateful to see your pictures and the numbers of years of service you have provided, because what it spoke to me about is commitment, dedication, passion, and care for our students in any and all positions that are represented. Whether you are a teacher in a classroom, an administrator, whether you work in nutrition or whether you work in the office, whether you are ensuring that our environments are clean, whether you're supporting students in many different ways. The number of years of dedication and commitment means so much. So thank you on behalf of the San Ramon Valley Unified School for your contribution, for your dedication. And as Ann and Tammy have shared and Keith mentioned before, whenever there's a milestone or a transition, it's a time, I think, to ponder, to reflect, to celebrate. Ponder all that has been, reflecting on the impact that you've had, and really determining as it unfolds what comes next. But I'm going to ask you to think about one time in your career in education. Picture that student whose life you know you changed, and I'm sure there are many. About that colleague who you were there for. Please think about that accomplishment that you're so very proud of because you know the impact that it had. And the reason I invite you to consider that someone or colleague or that student or that situation is because when we ground our reflection in what we've experienced and really sense what that has been, it speaks to the privilege of this career in education. So thank you. As you think about that situation, we are grateful for all that you have been doing and all that you are. We'll miss you. And I trust that you have left a legacy in our district that will continue to influence us as we go forward. All the best and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Malloy. At this time, I'm going to turn it on over to our board president, Susanna Ordway, who also has some comments that she would like to share for this year's retirees. Susanna.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so very pleased to speak on behalf of our Board of Education in this very special celebration. On behalf of our board, I would like to congratulate and thank all our retiring certificated and classified employees. Actually, the words thank you can express the amount of gratitude that we feel. You have all given so many years of yourself to not only the many, many students in our district, but in helping to shape, mentor, and inspire these young leaders. You have contributed and made tremendous differences to our community and beyond. And for that and more, we're very grateful for your service. Our warmest wishes for each of you to enjoy your very well-deserved retirement. And again, thank you for helping to make SRVUSD a destination school district.
Thank you, President Ordway. At this time, I'd like to offer congratulations once again to all of this year's retirees. We wish you all the best of health, happiness, and good fortune as you embark upon this next chapter in your lives. And for those who are with me in this room right now, as well as those of you who are watching from afar, I'm going to ask that you join me in giving a round of applause and thank you to all of this year's retirees. Thank you all for joining us for this event this afternoon, and good evening to you all.